Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Keri Dillon, sitting in for Sandy Benson. We have a couple of fabulous ladies here, high school juniors. We have Brittany Hanna Sophia Nimmer. Happy to have you here. You all are dancers from the Hilton Dance School, and you have your annual event coming up, Terpsichore.
Yes.
So this has been going on for a couple of years. There are two different ones. There's one for the younger kids and the one for yours, but y'all's is taking place at the Art Center of Coastal Carolina. It'll be April 6th and 7th, so you have two shows. Yeah. So Terpsichore, it has a bunch of different genres of dance this year. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, so we start out, Terpsichore, the first act is a classical ballet piece called Tchaikovsky's Concerto. And then second act, it's kind of switching it up a little bit. So we're gonna have a jazz piece, a Broadway jazz piece, and a contemporary ballet piece. And then our last act will be a one-act story ballet of Snow White.
Snow White, okay. So the Tchaikovsky's Concerto,
Yes.
It's special for a variety of reasons. It's the senior show for your seniors, but those seniors are gonna have 5 male dancers with them. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have Sam Chester, who's a freelance dancer in just southeastern United States. He's come for our Nutcrackers before. He's based out of Charlotte. Then we have David Greenberg, who is actually on So You Think You Can Dance. Nice. Yeah, and so he's based out of Savannah, and he's also been with us before. Then we have Philip Ingracia, and he is a principal dancer at Columbia City Ballet. Then we have Nations Wilkes Davis, who is in Boston Ballet too. And then we have our beloved Jamal Edwards, and he's was raised at Hilton Dance and choreographs for us still.
Wonderful. So that's a really wonderful send-off for the seniors. Now, with the Act 2 with Snow White, one of you is Snow White and the other is the Evil Queen. Tell us about those roles a little bit.
Well, I'm Snow White.
I'm the Evil Queen.
So I mean, mine's really fun because I get to do partnering with Sam Chester, and you get to just like be a princess and get to do all the fun, like everyone knows the story, kind of like the Nutcracker.
But mine's different because I get to kind of get out of my comfort zone and be an evil person towards like my friends and my dancers, so it's different and fun in that way.
And so y'all are both classically trained with Hilton Head Dance School. Okay, and so do you think that that has impacted the different genres that you're going to be dancing?
Definitely. I feel like classical ballet is the core that you need for all of other types of dance, whether you're doing hip hop, lyrical, contemporary, jazz, or anything. You need classical ballet training to really succeed in other types of dance.
Do you feel the same?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to come back to ballet is like the basic. So if you can have that down, you can put any style on it, and you can do anything as long as you have those like basic skills from ballet.
Sure. And where do you find it the most in? And what are your other dances? Forms of dance, for lack of a better word, that you gravitate toward?
Well, so we do ballet on like every day, but then we also have jazz, and then we have like Broadway kind of jazz by like Bob Fosse kind of stuff.
For you personally, where does it take you?
I really like ballet and then contemporary. I think that one's really fun because it's kind of or like lyrical. You kind of get to still do like ballet type moves, but it's a little more free and like you get to kind of express yourself a little more.
Yeah, a little different. What about you, Sophia?
I'm the same way. I feel like I lean more towards contemporary because we have a great teacher, Jamal Edwards, who's also our guest. Sure. And I really just like how he has us change it up a little bit than doing classical and
it's really like
expressing
free.
ourselves.
It's not like rigid, where like ballet is a little more like
structured.
Structured, and it's more like free. You just get to like move, which is really fun.
And you take one incorporated to the other. Now, with all these different genres, you have different choreographers, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So for our Tchaikovsky's Concerto, it's one of our artistic directors, Karina Brock-Carlisle, and it was inspired by a Balanchine piece, by a couple different Balanchines. So she set and kind of choreographed that for us. And it's a classical ballet, but it's not really like your Nutcracker, Giselle type thing. It's more like upbeat and fast and a little more, I don't want to say like, a little more like I don't know, like spicy, I guess. I don't know. And then we have our next one, which is the Fosse piece by Kathleen Watkins. So she staged that.
Fosse pieces.
Yes, we love that one. So that one's really interesting, and it's really a treat to have her here because she danced professionally on Broadway. So it's just really cool to learn from her. Then we have our Jamal Edwards, and that's an original piece called Prism, and that one's like the contemporary piece, and that's really fun because it gets to be really open and free, and there's a couple of different sections in it, and they're all really, really different. So it's really dynamic. dynamic with like the speed and the type of step.
Love it.
And then we obviously have our Snow White, which is just a fun like story act
it's gonna be
ballet.
great.
Everyone knows the line. It's,
Great.
Yeah.
And
it's really
everybody's
fun.
familiar, you know, with the
Yeah.
Art Center of Coastal Carolina, so make sure you get your tickets for this, April 6th and April 7th. We have the evening show, 7:30, and then the matinee, and can't wait to see y'all on stage.
I'm so excited.
All right, we'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.